Yeah.
I think that if I try to talk slower, I can remember more vocabulary and the grammatical structures. And no matter if other people talk very fluently, I am trying to talk in a confident way. It's a little bit difficult, but I am trying because I think that is one of my problems, that I maybe try to talk in English as the speed that I have in my mind, and it's not possible because I am not native in English, and so it's very difficult for me to translate my thoughts into words in another language. For now,
Well,
it's very difficult.
but here's the thing: are you thinking in English?
This is another thing. I am trying to think in English and do not translate, because I know there is a problem to be translating. This is very difficult, and we talk in a Spanish way, but with English words. So I am trying to stop doing that.
Yeah. Try not to think in Spanish and then translate to English. No, you have to try thinking in English. And this is where my videos, I think, become very useful, because what is thinking? Well, thinking is certainly the arrangement of new ideas and things like this, but it uses your memory. And now there are a few people in the world, there's not a lot of them, but there's a few people who function very well in the world, but they don't actually hear a voice in their mind when they're thinking. Only about maybe 1% of the population is like that. Okay, for the rest of us, when we think, we are using audio memory, meaning that we are remembering words that we have said, because that voice is usually your own voice. It's not somebody else's voice. Right. But then going back even further, where do you get your words that are in your audio memory? Well, you actually pick them up from other people. You learn them from your parents. You learned them from other people you were around when you were growing up. But then they become yours. Okay. And then when you are thinking, well, there are many processes going on with thinking, but one process is that audio speech making. Okay. Making sentences in your own head. Okay. And in order to be able to do that in English, you have to practice a lot. And practicing saying sentences by yourself reinforces your ability to think in English. Okay, because if you want to make a sentence in English in your head, you have to have had the experience already of trying to make that sentence. Okay, and that's what these videos do. They make you make sentences in English, and you repeat them, and that reinforces them in your memory. Okay, once they become reinforced in your memory and you become fluent, then you can use those sentence patterns to form thoughts in your own head, which are basically sentences in English. Okay, but if you don't actually speak out loud is the best way to do it. But if you don't actually speak out loud in English, you don't have the memory of expressions and phrases and sentences in your mind to draw from when you are thinking and trying to think in English. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. You know, it's a little bit, maybe I think, for example, when I received lessons in UNED, Universidad Estatal de I really hate that lessons, because the teacher get us into little groups, and do a conversation, and I think we are just repeating and repeating, and the teacher is not correcting us, and I think that I am not making progress. But now, as you are explaining to me, I just thought in neurolinguistica. I don't know how to say in English.
Neurolinguistics.
Okay. So I have studied a little bit of this topic, and I know that if we do some kind of phrases every time in the morning, you are like teaching your brain in some things. So the way you are speaking to me, this thing to repeat the sentences and try to think in English from the videos, it makes sense for me. So yes, for me, the problem is that the English lessons are very boring, I think, in the past. But now I think that I need to change my mindset and try to do in this way, even if I don't think it is working. Maybe after some weeks, it's possible to be some progress on me.
Yeah, no, I think this method will work, and that's the one advantage that you get from the videos that you don't get from speaking with a group of other students who don't correct you, right? With the video, you're saying it yourself, you're forming the sentence yourself, but then you're also hearing me say the correct version of the sentence. Okay, so you're getting corrected every single time. You've got a good model to copy from. So yeah, and you don't really get that as much when you're trying to speak English with a group of fellow students. Yeah.